going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Anime Recommendations of the Month. What episode is this? Like episode 5, 6, somewhere around there. Yeah, we've been going crazy on the channel, not even just with anime recommendations, but for the month, I dropped last month, I dropped 6 videos. That's an all-time high for me, so congratulations to that. And also, I just want to thank everybody for the love and support that we get on the channel and the series in general. A lot of y'all like it. So it seems. So I'm gonna keep on making it, but I'm not gonna take too much of your time. We're gonna get straight into it. And the first anime recommendation of this video is called Psychopaths. Why? You have my deepest sympathies. And Psychopaths is an anime that was released in 2012 under Production IG Studios. And for anybody who doesn't know any work that Production IG Studios has worked on, they've worked on not just animes but movies as well. Some of the more well-known ones being Kuroko Basketball, Ghost in the Shell, Fate Grand Order the movie, Mass Effect, and also Dante's Inferno. The anime Psychopaths is placed in the genre of crime, cyberpunk, psychological thriller, and action. And before I go any further, I wanted to let y'all know that Psychopaths is more of a longer anime as opposed to anything I've covered in the previous anime recommendations. This has 3 seasons, first season being 22 episodes, second being 11 episodes, and the third being around 8 episodes. So 3 seasons around 40, 41, 42 episodes, somewhere around there. I don't feel like doing math, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This anime recommendation is not pre-calculus, alright? And the story of Psychopaths takes place in a more futuristic version of Japan. And Japan uses advanced technology to determine a person's mental state, their tendencies, and their overall intelligence by using advanced algorithms to determine what jobs best suits a person to help shape and mold the overall society. And this system is referred to as the Sibyl system. The Sibyl system doesn't only act as a form of aligning people with employment, it also acts as the justice system by determining someone's criminality level. And pretty much what that means is that the Sibyl system is able to read your mental level and determine whether you have a higher tendency to be a criminal, and if so, it determines how high your criminality level is. And the team that focuses more so on catching people with high criminality levels are referred to as the Public Safety Bureau's Criminal Investigation Division. And our agents that work in this division are armed with a weapon called Dominator. And this is a weapon that links them directly to the Sibyl system that helps determine the culprit's psychological data and rates them on a numerical scale. And depending on how high the Sibyl system rates the target's criminality level, the Dominator has different phases that it goes through and allows users to use. Lower numbers will allow the agents to only either knock out or subdue targets in order to take them in for rehabilitation, and higher numbers will result in the Dominator's potential, allowing targets to be neutralized. Now that we got the basic setting out the way of the show, let's get to what the main story follows. Our story follows a young novelist inspector named Aikana, who's placed in a division with enforcers. And enforcers are people with high criminality levels, who are referred to obviously as criminals, but they're placed inside this investigation bureau. But the Sibyl system has determined that these individuals have the aptitude and the necessary skills to get the job done. Upon being in his division with enforcers, our protagonist begins to question the workings of the Sibyl system, questioning whether it works, whether it's reliable, whether it's an actual sense of justice and judgment. Part of that being because of what she's seen in the line of duty, and also because of how she interacts with the enforcer, seeing them for what they really are, humans who might have made bad mistakes in their lifetime, instead of reducing them to a single moment. And our story of Psychopaths follows 2 main protagonists, the first one being the one I already named, Aikana. Like I said, she's a shy novelist protagonist, kind of naive, but that's more so because she's not as experienced as her colleagues, not because she isn't smart. But she grows as a character and begins to question the reality of things, and it's kind of a, I'm not gonna say it's kind of a typical protagonist, not in a bad way or anything like that. It's done nicely because the story and the overall world of Psychopaths is very nice and something refreshing. But yeah, that's just the basic idea of her. I don't want to give away anything more because, like always, it would be spoilers. Then we have our second protagonist, Shinya Kugami. He's in the same division as Aikana, and he's more of a headstrong, stubborn, arrogant, and kind of an asshole kind of person. He's an enforcer along with Aikana's other colleagues, so the Sibyl system sees him as a criminal. He kind of plays by his own rules, only following Sybil and the Bureau in order to achieve his own personal goal. But while being all of those things of, asshole and stubborn and all of that, he is still a kind and caring person, especially to his colleagues, his fellow enforcers, and even Aikana, while he still believes she's naive and dumb. But yeah, overall the story of Psycho-Pass was really good. I like the characters and the direction that it isn't afraid to go in, especially when handling certain topics. It's nice and refreshing. I feel it's very one of the more underrated animes. Like, I hear people talk about it, obviously people who've been watching anime for years, but like newer people and more like people who've been started watching anime around like 2010, a lot of people don't really talk about this as much, and it's a real good anime. It plays with the idea of a perfect society and stopping crime before it happens and all of that, and it flips it on its head, and it makes people question, is this really justice, and is it really a system that actually works? And not only do you question that, but you also see some of the characters start to question it as well. A nice story, nice storytelling, and great world building. Definitely a great anime, and I would recommend it, obviously, or else it wouldn't be on this list. All right, we midway through the video. Thank you for everybody who's still here and who's checking it out. I appreciate y'all. I want to, do a little short intermission, allow y'all to get y'all snacks, y'all drink, and all that. It's probably hot where y'all at, go ahead and refresh, you feel me? But also, I just want to make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that. It helps the channel and it helps spread the word. Not only that, follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/AstroOddyssey. I'll have it in the description, definitely check it out. But I'm not gonna waste too much of your time, all right? Let's get into the second anime recommendation of this video, BIM. So for BIM, there's multiple things for BIM. There's the original anime, which is from 1968. There's the movie, and then there's the 2020 adaptation. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 2020 adaptation. So anytime I'm saying BIM, I'm going to be talking about the newer remade one, not the older ones or the movie. And BIM was released under the same studio as, the first anime we talked about, Production IG. And again, earlier I already explained what they worked on. If you don't remember, you can go back and rewind and check that out. And the anime of BIM is placed in the genre of horror, adventure, and thriller. And it's about 11 to 12 episodes, the remake at least, nothing too crazy. And the story of BIM more so deals with not just monsters and the people in power, trying to control their power, but it also deals with the morality of man and monsters as well, and how some people can be victims of circumstances or fate. And our story follows a young detective. Wait, hold on. This sounds just like the first anime. It's Script Man. Is this? No, it's not the same. Oh, alright. It follows a young detective named Sonia Summers, who's been transferred to the outskirts of Libra. That's the, the city or the town where they live. And the city is kind of divided into two parts. One being the upper, which is more so where the wealthy, the high middle class, and the rich, the politicians, all of that, where they live. And then the upper part is labeled as the outside. And the outside is more so crime, corruption, and where the monster/humanoid creatures hide and kind of thrive in, pretty much. And while monsters reside in the outside, it's not public knowledge that there's monsters and humanoid creatures out there. They take the form of human in order to disguise themselves and to walk amongst the rest. But let's get back to our character. Our protagonist is sent to the outside as a punishment for challenging her superiors. And as Sonia begins to work the cases in the outside, she notices that the cases are not only more graphic, but they hint towards more foul play than anything she's ever seen before. And later on in her investigation, she encounters 3 humanoid creatures named Bim, Bella, and Bilo. And to her, she sees them for what she believes they are, which are monsters, ugly on the inside and ugly on the outside. And this changes her thinking process. She goes from more so being a light-hearted, by the book kind of person to being more stubborn and hard on not just herself but the people around her, because she has to deal with the realization that there's more out there. And as for the 3 humanoid creatures that she encountered, Bim, Bella, and Bilo, they're not just any kind of humanoid creatures. They're good and they want to protect humanity. But because they're monsters, they'll never be truly accepted by not only humans, but by their own kind as well. They want to one day be human themselves and walk around and live among them. While on this journey, they constantly question whether it's even worth it, because they fear they'll never be accepted by anyone. And on top of the emotional burden that they deal with, they have to deal with humans who hurt and betray them. They have to deal with hiding from, obviously, law enforcement, and they have to also worry about their own kind as well, because they don't fit in with them. I've already introduced kind of our 4 protagonists of the show, and I'll just give a quick breakdown of each of these characters so you can get a kind of better understanding of them without going fully in depth, because I don't want to spoil anything. First one being Sonia, our young detective. She's introduced as a justice driven person who goes more for the truth rather than trying to appeal to the higher ups, and more so wants to help people. And later on down the line, as she's exposed to more in the outside, she keeps that sense of justice, but her more kind exterior begins to become more hardened, and she becomes more brash and more hot-headed. Then we have our second protagonist, Bim. Bim is more of a strategist, a leader, and more level-headed than our other two in the trio. He's calm and composed, and he's goal-driven, but at the same time, he's also lost. He's lost because he struggles to find value in not just his life, but his purpose and his quest of living amongst humans. So that can kind of cause him to be torn at times, more so in a silent struggle, dealing with it internally rather than taking it out on others. Then we have our third protagonist, Bella. Bella is more of a caring and empathetic humanoid person. She has a strong sense to protect humans as well as live amongst them. She even disguises herself as a schoolgirl and goes to the upper region in order to attend school and get a feel of what it's like to be human. Even doing things like eating food that she knows she can't taste, or going out and trying different things that doesn't really amuse her, but it amuses the people around her. And she even has a sense of guilt after having taken the body of a person who died in order to hide amongst the humans. She too, like Bim, also questions sometimes whoever their journey is worth it. Not as much so as them, but it still lingers in the back of her mind, but she's a lot more forgiving and tend to let things slide. And then we have our final protagonist, Bilo. Bilo's personality is more so the opposite of Bella's. Unlike Bim and Bella, he acts like he doesn't care for humanity and says that their journey is pointless and that no one will ever accept them, so it's no point in doing any of it. But deep down, he's someone who also cares for humanity a lot, even going to the arcade and hanging out with a bunch of kids and being there to protect them when things go south for them. He's also a person that internally struggles with who he is and what he wants to be. While he wants to be human, his self-hate and self-pity can at times make him forget the beauty of living. Yeah, this anime, while being more of a shorter anime, definitely a sweet anime. Like I said, it deals with the monster of man and the man of monster. And it shows you how people that are viewed as monsters can be more human than people that walks among us. And it's just a nice storytelling, as I expected, because again, like I said, this is an older story from like the 1960s, so I expected it to have like a lot of like underlining meaning and all of that, you know. And it is good, definitely a great watch, great animation, great storytelling, and it also has a lot of gore, so if anybody likes that, you know, then this is definitely the show for you. And again, short, sweet, I definitely recommend it. And that's all for this anime recommendation video. I appreciate everybody for stopping by and watching this whole thing. Again, it means the world to me that y'all give me the opportunity to do all of this, and I hope y'all really enjoyed it. I've been really trying to go hard on the channel, especially last month. This month is gonna be another big month that I plan on releasing stuff, so you know, definitely stay tuned for all of that. You know, again, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. Check out the Twitch if you want to catch me live. That's where I'm live at, and you know, you can interact with me more. I show my face on there so if y'all want to see that. But yeah, I don't want to waste too much of your time, and saying goodbye is already hard enough as it is. So I'll catch y'all next time, and I'll see you all in space.
So we're both myths. I do not come to you as the reality. I come to you as the myth.